So L300s are known for having notoriously inaccurate fuel and temperature gauges. This could very well just be a product of the fact that they're analog electronics and they're 30 years old. So in front here I have a cluster that's been opened up. You don't actually need to open the cluster for these adjustments. I'm just doing some other stuff right now. So if I flip this over, you can see the back of the cluster here. You can ignore these wires. These are some of my extra things. But inside these two holes are adjustment points for both of the fuel and the temperature gauge. So let's see if we can take a look inside here. You can see that there is a little racetrack shaped hole in there, and you'll actually see a little bit of marking where the original setting was. You can actually slide that left or right to adjust where the gauge sits and how it reads. So if your temperature gauge is constantly reading too high for what it actually is, you can adjust this little plate over and that'll actually move where the needle sits. So you're basically adjusting the start point, and it could potentially adjust the kind of scaling factor that the gauge uses to move. And on this side, you can see that same feature, little dot of pink marker on there for the original location. And then you can basically just move this back and forth to adjust where that needle sits if you find your fuel gauge is off. And again, you don't need to take the entire cluster apart to do that. This is readily accessible without taking that front face off.